I figured we'd start today with just, looking at the beautiful vistas and just look at the colony for a bit. Just take in the beautiful sights. Yes, the very beautiful. I can't keep the baby going. Yeah, I decided to just kind of clear the appearances for a while. Just let people wear their natural armor for a while. And show that off for a bit. Anyways, yeah. What's up, Charlotte? I look at the colony and all I can think of is how things used to be. Back when you lived in Colony 6, you mean? Before all this happened? Yeah. Think about what Colony 6 was like back then. And then I remember the state it's in now and it breaks my heart. Do you want to go back there? If you went back, you could help out with the reconstruction. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't. Not right now. Why not? All of the survivors from the camp would love to see you again. I just feel like it's not time yet. We still have battles to fight. How could I even think about going home and living a peaceful life? Don't be so hard on yourself. Everyone deserves a break sometimes. You especially. Otherwise you'll keel over from all the stress. You're right, of course, I can't do everything on my own. Now you're getting it. What would you do without me? You do make me smile, Ryan. I have to know. Would you be angry right now if I hadn't agreed with you? Of course I'd be angry. We're friends, aren't we? Oh, I see. You'd be angry as a friend. I mean, well, not just 'cause we're friends. Oh, what? Why are you laughing? Oh, no reason. I never stay mad. I never stay sad when I'm around you. I'm glad I met you, Ryan. That went way over my head. But whatever, I'm happy to. Friends, yeah. I'm sorry, Delia. Okay. Okay. So, friends. Yeah, right. Sure. And by the way, now that the story is over, I can finally say, Ryan and Charlotte are a canon couple. Yeah, they actually did reveal later on that they actually do become an official couple. But at least some characters became, have canon romances, not unlike anyways. So off screen I did do a little bit of grinding and I got stuff for replica Monados. I see you've gathered the necessary materials. We'll get to work immediately. And not just one replica Monado, but two, actually. I have finished. The Monado Abyss has been designed for strong attack power. The heavy materials used give it a high maximum attack power. Damage is somewhat unfocused, but it has immense strength. And what she says is true. Monado Abyss has some of the highest max auto attack out of any weapon. It's also 3 slots and it's pretty useful. And I'm going to go ahead and equip that. And instead of attack plus, I'm going to do attack stability. So there we go. Auto attack min and max are now equal to each other. And for our second one, I see you've got necessary materials, blah blah blah. Just make me my weapon. I have finished. The Monado Saga has been designed for superior defense. Its thick materials suppress the blade output. Attack strength is greatly reduced, but it provides peerless defense. So yeah, this weapon is not my favorite. It's basically meant for more face tank Shulk, which I've mentioned in the past. I don't like defensive Shulk that much. And to top it off, it's also very weird looking. Like, I get the design choices with a lot of the other Monados, and they all look fine. what's the point of this thing? It looks like it's trying to be almost like a trident, but it's not, and the way it splits apart from the Blade of Light looks a little weird to me. I don't know, it's the one Monado design that I'm not the biggest fan of. But for now, I'm just going to stick with the Monado Abyss. And also keep in mind too, if you're playing the Wii or 3DS versions, that particular Monado, the Monado Abyss with the high max auto attack, it is going to be not very good in those versions because of the max auto attack glitch. So, yeah, do keep that in mind. And the last thing I want to do before going on to do the main thing I wanted to do today, I have enough material for Commerce level 5. So, let's fully rebuild the colony. Play that generic fanfare. And for completing the category, we get Titan Arms with Pierce Resist 5. And now the colony has been fully rebuilt. Look at it, it's so beautiful. Look, it's so beautiful. A large ether light has been built. And for completing everything, we get a Titan plate with damage heal 5. But that's not all. Enemies are attacking one of the colony's ether planters. Defend Colony 6, Demon. And we have to defeat Demon King Draconia, which is right over by the main entrance. Oh, yep, there he is. Would I recommend fighting him? It depends. Because level 99. Yeah, even though I'm actually equipped wise to actually take on like super bosses, which require me to fight enemies 10 levels ahead of me, I kind of want to save fighting this thing until a little later when I'm a little stronger. And it's more of an even matchup. But regardless of that, the next step I want to do is go to the Fallen Arm. Because today, it's all about completing every side quest on the Fallen Arm. So the first thing I want to do is, if I can find this particular NPC. See, no, not you, not you. Where are you at? Yes. Not you. Maybe I should change back the clock a little bit. Because there's a specific NPC that I want to talk to. You! Yes! Shucks! I have a dream of one day opening a large shop. I wanted to be somewhere where there's a lot of potential customers. Upon getting Commerce level 5, I can now invite the very last NPC we ever need for Colony 6. We have truly 100% Colony 6. At least with the reconstruction points. There's still a ton of side quests left, but yep, Hopeful Survivors. That is the achievement for getting every single NPC needed for Colony 6. And if you're struggling with finding any of them, I will link in the description link to Xeno Wiki with the list of all the people as well as the minimum requirements to invite them. But for now, let's start doing some side quests. Starting with Kazet. If only I could use this gun properly, then everything would be fine. Problem. Alright. No, the number of monsters around the village has increased again. A tough battle. So we need to basically fight all. We need to gain a bunch of these things from the Fallen Arm. Alright, could I skip that? That's like one of my favorite, just random text from Melia. That's like one of the funniest things in the game. How could I skip that, man? Oh, whatever. I'm gonna go and defeat all these enemies, and I'll meet you back over by where that one NPC is. Alright, I'm back, and with the monsters defeated. Thanks to you, the threat facing our village is that much smaller. However, fine-tuning this weapon is still a priority. Well, that's that. I'll give it my best shot, no pun intended. Dude, own your puns. And for that we get a Heatseek 3 gem. Okay. I think the next one that I want to take care of is out here. And talk to Eliqua. Excuse me, have you seen Eyes lately? Oh, it's that one, Machina that, was talking weird stuff. You see him, which am I talking to? Therapy. Lady, does Ryan really look like the best person for therapy? Heck, I'm pretty sure half these characters require some therapy. Huh? What's that? Wanna help me dig a hole? Gotta dig a massive hole to bury all the bad things. Burials! Burials! Can't beat a good burial. Bury all the bad things. Bury to forget. Forget and never remember. How I solve my problems. Okay, gonna keep on talking until something happened. Oh, something about Egil? There's only one thing for it. Dig and bury it. You again? Oh yeah, Eliqua. Yeah, I understand. I've started to come down a bit. Alright, I understand. If you're gonna say that and you're from Bionis, I ain't gonna doubt you. Yeah, you're right, of course. Yeah, that's all this quest takes.
Welcome.
Again, I keep on skipping over things involving Egil. Why would... well, whatever. I guess this does bring up something that I actually surprisingly have not talked about yet. But that is, I haven't really talked about, really given my thoughts on Egil. Yeah, after how many episodes since his death, I've yet to really dive into him. Dive into my thoughts on him. But I guess now is a good time as any. Especially because we're on the Fallen Arm, so there is some significance to that. So, Egil is, in my opinion, the best villain in the game. I mean, I know that Zanza is like the biggest threat out of all of them, and he does have a lot of the best moments, including having the best boss fight music in the game, but in terms of actual characters, I actually really do prefer Zanza. Oh, no, not Zanza. Egil. Sorry, dude. I really prefer Egil. I think because he's honestly the most three-dimensional out of any of the villains. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the villains in this game. Like Metalface, Dixon, Dorothea, Zanza, I enjoy all of them. But the problem is they're kind of just one-dimensionally evil. There's not much of a real distinct character from them. I mean, they're fun evil. They certainly remind me of like classic Disney villains where even though they're not like super complex, they're just a ton of fun to watch. But Egil is really complex, and there's layers to what he's doing, and his redemption arc, though very brief, feels very appropriate. I think a lot of that has to deal with the fact that you kind of shift perspectives and realize that, oh, Egil was kind of right to just try and destroy the Bionis. But that's still kind of it's still kind of interesting how, like, your perspective of him changes over the course of the game. And it really adds a lot, especially when you replay it and you know all the plot details, and yeah. It's just another case of where I think this game really does excel when it comes to the storytelling. And on top of that, I actually really like villains that are sympathetic and you really understand their motivations.
Yes.
Like, again, I enjoy my big baddies that are just evil for the sake of being evil, or are just a ton of fun to watch, but I do... Oh. Got interrupted there by noise. But anyways, I like my villains to have a bit more of a complexity to them. Whether it be adding a lot of mystery to their backstories, or just giving them a reason for you to almost kind of root for them despite knowing what they're doing is technically wrong. I don't know, I always really like those kinds of villains. And Egil is probably one of the best examples of that kind of villain for me. And I think his death is probably one of the most impactful things in the game. Which is why I'm going to tell you how the game almost ruined it. So, as you can imagine, with such a big game, there's a lot of unused content. Some of it does come back in either sequels or, heck, even in Future Connected. But there are some that just remain unused. And one of the examples of unused stuff is that every time you defeated a major boss, you would get an item based off of the fight that you had against them. So, like, for example, upon defeating Tyrea in the High Entia 2, you would get her mask. Upon defeating Zord, you would get, like, his face. Like, you would get the metal face out of it. The thing that was supposed to be given to you upon defeating Egil is like the flat part at the top of his head. Yeah, just a random piece. And just a random piece of Egil. And to top it off, the item description was that it was compared to a dinner dish. Yeah, one of the best villains who had probably the most impactful death of the entire game. And the item description for the thing you would get from him to remember him by is written as a joke. I'm kind of glad they changed that. I mean, I enjoy good jokes, and this game is definitely full of really good humor. But that would have really ruined Egil's death for me. So, yeah, kind of glad they changed that. Though, there is one that I kind of wish they kept. Upon defeating Jadeface and the whole Galahad Fortress blowing up, you would have received Gatto's, like, cannon on Jadeface. And that would have been a weapon for... And I think that could have been a weapon for Sharla. Truth be told, I kind of wish that they kept that. Because if Sharla could get Gatto's old rifle, why not give her the new one? I feel that could have been a really good way of showcasing Sharla's character development. But instead, it just gives us nothing. So, yeah. I don't know. Let's see. What else do we want to do? I guess the NPC I need to talk to is only available during the night. Oh. Keep doing that. 2100. Yep, only available on the night. Okay. No problem. Oh, you're just barely coming out.
Hi.
Hi. You even got the things I need? Oh, right. This is the one where, the kid has, like, parents that are arguing. Mom and Dad were so happy they cried and hugged. Finally, they made up and we could go back to being a normal family. Kid, if your parents' marriage is built on a keepsake, I feel like that's not the most stable family. I'm just saying. But yeah, I understand valuable things and all that, and I certainly do have keepsakes that I truly value and would be, like, legitimately furious at someone if they broke it, even if they're, like, my closest friends. But I don't think the basis of a marriage on a keepsake is necessarily the most healthy thing. I'm just saying. Anyways, there's a couple other things on the fallen arm that I need to take care of. So I'm gonna warp over to the giant Mechon debris, and I'll meet you over by where that broken Mechon is. Alright, there's the broken Mechon, and I've also swapped out for the Mechana weapons. I could have defeated this thing earlier, but so many other things took precedent that I could not find time to defeat this thing. That is kind of one of my only minor issues with Xenoblade 1 towards the end, is that pretty much the moment you get the replica Monado, you don't really want to do side quests. You want to finish out the story, and it doesn't help either that a lot of the side quests that you unlock upon completing it are really over-leveled compared to you. Like, you saw that when I tried to do Ryan's 5th skill tree quest, that I pretty much had to do casual mode just to defeat the enemies, and those were regular enemies too. They weren't like they weren't super bosses or unique monsters. They were just like level 90 stuff. When by the time you unlock it, you're probably around level 75-ish. And even a lot of the quests that you unlocked prior, you probably didn't want to do because you wanted to complete the story. That is one thing I will concur is not the best structured. Anyways, for our last thing, I think this is the last thing with Fallen Arm. Other than Heart to Hearts, of course. Which, by the way, I am so freaking behind on. Like, look at this stuff. I really need to get into gear with those things. And especially considering that, honestly, I could probably view a majority of them. Because I did do a little off-screen grinding with Affinity and got everyone at least purple Affinity with each other. So I could feasibly do a lot of these, and even the Heart to Hearts probably would push a lot of these characters over the edge and get them to max Affinity with each other. So I think from here on out, I think I'll try and do at least 2-3 Heart to Hearts per video, just so I can have them done and over by the end of the series, and I'm not just spending a whole last video grinding out the Heart to Hearts. I feel like that it's probably the best thing to do at this point. But for now, let's just swim around. And Ether Exhaust System. And in an earlier quest, we actually got the ability to open this. This normally would not open otherwise. And in here, Evil Bathin, as well as some ether, which I'm just gonna collect, even though I think those are level 3 stuff. I almost feel like. Yeah. Or, no, level 4. Never mind. Anyways, I guess we'll fight Evil Bathin. So I'm gonna open up with a War Swing. And here we go, Lariat. I think you know what? I think I could probably wipe this out with a Berserker, Magnum Charge, Sword Drive. I love being over leveled and having probably the strongest attack in the game. Let's see. For that we get Silence, Blade Leggings, and a Mirage Staff. Probably very outdated material, but whatever. Just regular enemies. Okay. Well, whatever. Let's head back to the Zedjons and talk to whichever Bacana this is. Zikit. Have I gone alone as scheduled? Thank you so much. Well, that's that. Oi, 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 don't be shy. Just say it straight. Ryan, you're the man. Quest complete, and for that we get Break 4 Gem. Okay, so if you'll give me a second to double check that I actually did get every side quest on the Fallen Arm. I checked and there's no more side quests open, so I think that's everything on the Fallen Arm. Yeah. And to celebrate, let's do a couple heart-to-hearts, starting with a nighttime chat. Sorry to drag you away at a time like this. It's okay. What did you want to talk about? I didn't want to say this earlier, but until I met you, I thought Melia was the one for him. But who? Are you talking about Sho? Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I don't want a medal, I'm just an onlooker. I don't really mind which one of you gets the guy. Oh, it's this heart to heart. Okay. I'll talk about it after it's all said and done. Thanks, I think. I know that you're a big deal to the boy, so don't worry. Lately, that's been clear as can be. Lately? You mean after he found me? Yeah, since he came back. I mean, Shulk looked after for everyone like the good guy he is. But he's definitely changed since you joined us. I don't think he's changed. That makes sense. You didn't see him until after you met up again. I know, but do you really think Shulk has changed that much? I don't mean in a bad way. He's still basically the same guy. Well, that's a relief. So he never stopped being kind and sweet. Not for a second. But that's not what I mean. It's subtle, but he's stronger now. I think it's because he knows he has to protect you from now on. That's reassuring. I'm glad he hasn't changed too much, though. I would hate for Shulk to stop being Shulk. Maybe he tried really hard to stop himself from changing. That doesn't sound very practical. I meant, like, subconsciously. Maybe part of him really wanted to keep hold of who he was. You could well be right. Shulk's the kind enough person that deep down, he'd want to stay kind. Thanks for telling me about all this, Charlotte. Don't worry, nothing's needed. Just hang in there, okay? Charla, I'm just gonna say this once. Why did you break your promise to Melia? You said that you would be in her corner. You would try and get her and Shulk together. Traitor. And it bothers me every single time I see that cutscene in Alchema. It bothers me every time because I know that she just doesn't follow through on it. It just bothers me so much. How's it going? I get it. She sees that Shulk and Fiora are pretty much endgame, but come on. You could have at least talked to Melia about it instead of just leaving her to be a heartbroken maiden at the end. At least try and comfort her at least a little. Whatever. I think I'll try and look for one more heart-to-heart that I can do, and then I think we'll call it a day. Let's try to... Can I view this one at the Silver Wreckage? Yes, I can. So if you'll excuse me a second. Just like old times. Sure. Can I ask you a favor? Just a little one. Absolutely. If you think it's something I can help with, I mean. Yes, it has to be you. This sounds important. What do you need me to do? Never mind, it's fine. Are you sure, Fiora? I don't mind what it is. Just ask if you need to. You sure you won't mind? Something's really bothering you. You never used to hide stuff from me back at the colony. I know I didn't, but that was a long time ago, Shulk. And if I tell you, I know you'll get angry. Maybe, maybe not. But you'll have to ask to find out. So, what's it to be? Okay, here I go. Just don't get mad, please. We talked about this before, but if my body doesn't last... Fiora, stop right there. You said you wouldn't worry. That's why I told you not to get mad. I know this isn't the first time that subject's come up, but how do you know I'll ever be like I was before all of this? I don't care about any of that. None of it matters as long as I get to be with you. You'll always be my Fiora. What about everyone else? You're fine with it, but other Homs. I know what they'll think of me, and I don't want them to tar you with the same brush. Then we'll move to somewhere they can't look at you. Ryan and Dunbad will follow us. I know they would. Sure. Thank you. Hearing you say that makes me happy inside. But I can't drag everyone away from their own lives. Maybe not, but I'll be there with you either way. Really? You leave everyone else for me? You're not just saying that to make me feel better? No, I promise I'll never leave you. So, you have to promise me that you'll never forget it. Okay, yeah, that one's pretty sweet. That one I really like. And also, this brings up an interesting talking point that I actually kind of want to discuss a little bit. So, in the final cutscene, it showed that Fiora got her Hom's body back. And you may be wondering, well, yeah, maybe when Shulk like recreated the world, maybe he recreated Fiora? I'm here to tell you that that's actually not what happened. So, in the Xenoblade Chronicles art book, they actually revealed that there was actually a bit of unused story that would have been canon. And it would have taken place in between kind of what happened with Replica Monado and going off to Prison Island. And basically what happened was they found a machine in Colony 9, kind of where they store all the ether cylinders. They discovered a device that would essentially reconstruct organic tissue, meaning that all we would need to do is just scan a little bit of what's left of Fiora, and it would recreate her body. However, the process would have taken several months, and so Fiora decided to hold off on getting into the machine, so that she could fight with Shulk in the fight against Zanza. I assume this was cut because there wasn't a good place to really put that cutscene, and also it probably would have grounded a lot of the pacing to a halt. I'm kind of glad they did this, but I wish that there was at least a line that explained that the machine still existed. That is, if it was still planning on being canon to this. Anyways, I think we have enough time for one more heart-to-heart. So, if you'll give me a second. Camping spot. Ricky and friends camp here once. Ricky talked to Dun for ages. I know, it's my favorite cutscene. Ricky catch fish for Dun and Dun say yum yum. Is that so? I expect you stayed up rather late chatting away under the moonlight. Millie right. But Millie shut eyes very early, so Millie not eat any grilled fish. What is grilled fish, Ricky? Millie not know. Grilled fish so yum yum that Dun's eyes pop out. Most intriguing. Millie must eat. Millie not forget taste either. Later. You've definitely piqued my interest. If you recommend it that highly, I will have to give it a try. Yay! Millie be very happy. Ricky find yum yum fish for Millie to eat. Oh, I thank you, Ricky. But we have places to go. We should leave your culinary delights until another time. Boring. Ricky catch it now. Grilled fish tastier than tasty. But how will you catch it? Leave it to Ricky. Ricky splish splash in water and get fish really quickly. I doubt you will catch a fish as easily as that. Very wrong. Splish splash not easy, but Ricky has the bestest flip flap wings in all our village. Splish splash flip flap. Are you sure about this, Ricky? What if something happens? We're the only ones here. Ricky will set the ground on fire too. Mary can sit and watch for Ricky's special grillfish. I can see you won't be persuaded. I suppose I have no choice but to wait for your return, Ricky. Mary will love fish. Ricky return very soon. He seems a tad too excited, but I hope he's going to cook up a storm. Perhaps I will regret saying that. Very cute. I like that. And it looks like we actually pushed Melly and Ricky over the edge. They now have acts of affinity with each other. Which is pretty nice. But I think that'll do it for now. So, next time on Xenoblade Chronicles, we continue to do a little bit of side quest hunting as well as hunting down the remainder of the heart-to-hearts that we can do right now. See you guys then.